Good evening, YouTube friends. Well, I've said several times before that I have what I consider the best viewers on YouTube, and fully believe that. I really appreciate all of you who watch and rate and comment on my videos. And ever so often, sometimes I don't completely get around and answer all my messages and some of the videos that are sent me like I should, but I do try to do that if I possibly can. And if you've written me in the past or tried to communicate with me and haven't heard back from me, it's probably because I messed up and forgot it, or something along the way, because I do like to communicate with those who watch my channel. One of my good viewers is a young man called Gary, and his YouTube name is MusicMan0150. And Gary, I know, watches and comments on my different videos that I make, and he does a real good job on his channel. You might want to check Gary out. But he sent me a message in the last few days and asked me some specific things, and I thought I would try to answer those things for Gary. And I also thought, in the meantime, I know there are quite a few viewers that sometimes don't make their own videos, and I remember a couple of years ago being in that same situation myself and had to ask for some help to be able to make my first videos. So I thought, along with answering Gary's question, I might just start a little bit of a basic tutorial on how to make YouTube videos. And I guess the most common package that a lot of people are using is the Windows Movie Maker. Gary asked about that one, wanted to know if I use Windows Movie Maker. And the answer to that, Gary, is that's the way I started out, and it's a perfectly good package. It's capable of doing a whole lot, and that's what I want to do my tutorials and demo on, is Movie Maker. But I did later on buy some more software called Sony Vegas that gives you a little more control of your video making, and I could have done just fine with Movie Maker, but I wanted to learn about Sony Vegas software, so now I do use Sony Vegas. But like I said, my tutorials will be how to use Windows Movie Maker. I might say that one problem with doing tutorials is that not everybody's computer system is the same, and maybe even your version of Windows Movie Maker may not be the same. So what I'll show you will be what my system is capable of doing, and the version of Movie Maker that I'm using. It may not look just like yours, but the basic operation should be about the same. My computer uses, as far as getting audio into the computer, uses a USB connection. Of course, some computers use a microphone plug where you plug into a sound card or into the front of the computer. So that's one difference. It, I guess, works the same. The setup might be a little different. And I'm not going to try to go in and tell you how to set up your microphone and things like that, because I just don't know what kind of setup everybody has. So you'll just have to kind of watch how I do mine and see if you can adapt that to your setup. And also, my Windows Movie Maker may look a bit different from yours, and that may be based on the version or even the system software that you're using. I know a lot of people are still using XP, and I've just recently moved up to using Microsoft Vista, which looks a bit different on the screen. So if you see the difference, it's the same software, but it may just look a little bit different the way that it's presented on the screen. So I thought I might clear that up. But let me get into Gary's specific questions. He paid me a compliment and said he watched and enjoyed my videos, and I appreciate all you who do that. And he said he had watched some of my videos that I had something in the background, and I was doing, I think he called it a voiceover, so that the audio was added over the photographs or the video that was playing in the background, and he said he'd like to know how to do that. So that's one of the things that I want to do tutorial on. And the other thing he mentioned was that he'd like to know how to do fade effects when you fade one photo or one video into another, and also how to change the colors so that you can, I guess he was meaning going from color to black and white or a gray tint, or even changing the total color of the picture or video. And I could do a tutorial on that. So this is my bit of an introduction. I don't know, I'll probably break these up into shorter tutorials, but that's what I plan to do over the next little while, is do some tutorials like this. And I don't know how many minutes I've run on already with this introduction, but what I'll do is probably end this introduction and ask you to check the next video, and the next one will be my first tutorial on using Windows Movie Maker. And I know you'll probably have some questions after watching my tutorials. I don't know how good of a teacher I'll be. I'll be glad to try. If you want to email me, send messages or whatever, comments, I'll try to answer any questions you have. I do have limited time, so I may not get back to you that same day or even the day after, but if you do have questions or maybe a suggestion, if it's not too complex, not too complicated on a future tutorial, I might try to work those in as I have time. I just can't guarantee any time frame due to my other commitments that I have to meet. So if you like this idea, if you like the first tutorial, let me know, and maybe I can do some more. I'm not an expert, but I've been on YouTube for about 2 years, and I've learned a lot, and I don't mind sharing the things I've learned, especially down on the basic level. Of course, there's professionals on YouTube that can teach you anything you want to know about any of the software and making videos. But I've found sometimes it's hard to find somebody on a very basic level. So what I'll try to do is keep my teaching or my tutorials down so that beginners can take advantage of it. If you have real advanced questions on video making and things like that, you probably ought to go off to some of the experts, and I'll just keep mine very basic for those that are wanting to make their first video or work out some problems they're having with some of their first videos. So that's what I'll be up to. So kind of look for my next video, and don't know how I'll get it on tonight, but I plan to make a tutorial on maybe the first one will be how to bring pictures and maybe video into Movie Maker. How to do some fade effects between those photos or videos, and maybe even how to start changing some of the colors. So I'll see you later.